You will agree with me that buying land is a major achievement for most of us. But how do you go about this purchase? Below is the legal procedure for buying land in Kenya. One. Search at Ministry of Lands. Search with the Ministry of Lands at district or county headquarters to ascertain the true landowners and establish the presence of brokers, and if the title has been charged or has a caveat, for instance, when it has been used to secure a loan, or there is a court order barring any transaction on the land. A search costs 520 Kenyan shillings and should be ready within 2 hours. A valid search should be no more than 6 months old. 2. Land rates in Kenya. Visit the local council, municipal, or county to confirm any unpaid land rates which you will need to factor in when deciding the purchase price. Cost varies from county to county. In Nairobi, you will be required to have a certificate of clearance from the Nairobi City County, which costs 7,500 Kenyan shillings and should be ready normally within 2 hours. If there are prevailing unpaid land rates, you would need to agree with the seller on who will settle them, as the land cannot be sold, transferred, without standing land rates. 3. Land map. Visit the local surveyor and purchase maps of the place, normally 2, one drawn to scale, informally known as tracing or mutation, and another showing the neighboring farms, costing 300 Kenyan shillings per map. You can buy these at the Lands Ministry, but a surveyor is better and faster. 4. Ground verification. Armed with the map, the surveyor and the seller visit the land on the ground. Have a tape measure to confirm the dimension from the map drawn to scale. Make sure you see the beacons or replace the lost ones. Surveyors charge about 1,000 Kenyan shillings per beacon. Make sure the bordering neighbors are in agreement with the boundaries. 5. Land sale agreement. The law requires any land transaction to be in writing. It is very advisable to have a lawyer, though not a must. According to the tariff provided by the Law Society of Kenya, the lawyer should charge 3,000 Kenyan shillings if the land cost is 1 million Kenyan shillings and below, and 8,000 Kenyan shillings if the land value is above 1 million Kenyan shillings. A lawyer's cost is normally shared equally between buyer and seller. Ensure that the spouse to the seller is present at this stage, or at least the spouse is aware and agrees with the transaction to avoid later complications. 5. Post-agreement transaction. According to the agreement, you may be paying cash or installment. Ensure by the time you make the initial payment the title deed and other legal documents are in the custody of the lawyers. This is because the seller still owns the piece of land and may involve other transactions using the title deed, which may harm you financially. 6. Land Control Board. Book the Land Control Board, LCB, meeting. The LCB is a forum made of the Assistant County Commissioners, previously called DOs, and the local village elders, which meets once a month. They are the ones who give the final consent for the land to be sold. Their role is to protect the seller from self-destruction, e.g. where a man is selling land without wife's knowledge, and they don't have anywhere else to go, or the land being sold is clan/community land. LCB costs 1,000 Kenyan shillings. However, there is a special land control bond, SCLB, which involves only the Assistant County Commissioner and the 2 transacting parties instead of waiting for the main LCB that meets once per month. SCLB costs 5,000 Kenyan shillings and may take 2 hours depending on the availability of the Assistant County Commissioner. 7. Land transfer process. After all payments, the seller signs land transfer forms which, together with consent from LCB, land search, clearance from county/municipal council, passport photos, KRA PIN, agreement and old title deed are taken to the Ministry of Lands to change ownership. It costs 5,000 Kenyan shillings to process new title, which should be ready within 2 weeks. 8. Stamp duty and transfer fees. You will need to pay stamp duty based on the value of land, I.e. 4% for municipalities and 2% for reserves. 9. Post-buying land in Kenya. After 1 week, the buyer should do another search with the Ministry of Lands to confirm that the land now reads his/her details. This is the legal procedure for buying land in Kenya. These are the steps to follow when wishing to buy a parcel of land in the country. Kindly do like, subscribe, and share for more videos and matters law in Kenya.